Today we're going to be doing a tutorial. Hello, and welcome to Nana's Crochet Ideas. I am your host, Terry. I'm going to show you what we're going to be making today. We're going to make these sleeper gowns for the babies. This one is sleeveless, and this one has the sleeves with the cuffs on the bottom that make it into like a mitten so they can't scratch their face. Now, what you're going to need for this project is going to be your yarn. For my tutorial today, we're going to be using Mandala Ombre. This colorway is Happy, but I will also be giving you what you need to use if you want to use something like Premier Fable or some other 3-weight double knit yarn. So what you're going to need if you're using the Mandala Ombre with me, I tend to crochet very tightly, so I'm going to be using a 6mm hook. If you're using the double knit yarn, the directions are for a 4mm hook. So you'll need the yarn, your hook, needles, a pair of scissors, and if you want to use ribbon in the ends, you'll need your ribbon, or you can make a tie thing out of by crocheting a chain. Or I also talked to you about doing a buttonhole, and then you'll need a button. So depending on how you're going to fasten it will depend on what the last accessory is that you need to make it. So I'm going to turn the camera around and we will get started on this project. I do want to give you a heads up, it is not the best tutorial. I have made 4, as you can see I made 2 of these ones, which is what this tutorial is. I needed you 2 because I wasn't happy with the tutorial that I did. I also did my last 2. I tried to do it as a tutorial. So keep in mind it's my first tutorial. I don't know that I have the proper equipment. You will be able to see what I'm doing, and you will be able to understand the pattern and know how to make it. However, it's not the best that it could be. So I apologize for that, and let's get started. Okay, to get started, we're going to do our slip knot. Now, if you don't want to use this number 4 weight yarn, you can use a double knit or 3-weight yarn. What you need to do for a 3-weight yarn is start with a chain of 50. We are going to start with a chain of 36. And I've got 36. Now, if you want to have a buttonhole for your gown, then you can do 1 extra chain here. Otherwise, go ahead and do 36. Then we're going to double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. We don't count what's on the hook. 1, 2, 3, here's my 4th. If you're doing the buttonhole, I want you to do your double crochet in the 5th chain from the hook. And then what we're going to do is simply do 1 double crochet in each chain to the end of the row. So go ahead and do that, and I will meet you at the end of the row for row 2. Double crochet across. We should have 34 double crochet. We're going to chain 3, turn our work, and do, not in this first stitch, our chain 3 counts as that. In the next stitch, we're going to do a double crochet. So that's 2 double crochet. In the next stitch, we're going to do 2 double crochet in the same stitch. So there's 1, and there's 2. Then in the next stitch, we're going to do 1 double crochet. Again, in the next, 1 double crochet. And in the next, 2 double crochet. So this is our increase for this row. 1 double crochet in 2 stitches, and then 2 double crochet in the next stitch. So one more time, we're going to do 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then we're going to do 2 double crochet in the next stitch. So go ahead and follow this pattern along to the end of the row, and I will then meet you there. Okay, here we are now at this end of our second row, and we're going to chain 3 again. Now, because we're on our second row, we double crocheted in 2 stitches and then did 2 double crochet. On our third row, we're going to do a double crochet in 3 stitches. So our chain 3 is 1, 2, and there's 3. Then we're going to do 2 double crochet in the next stitch. Then we're going to do 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet in the second stitch, and then 1 double crochet in the third stitch. Then we're going to do 2 double crochets in the same stitch. And we're going to go ahead and follow this same pattern of increases to the end of the row. And I will meet you back there. So there's 1 double crochet, a second double crochet, a third double crochet, and then 2 double crochet in the next stitch. Okay, so we finished our third row. Now at this point in the garment, we are going to slip stitch into our third chain on the other side, and we're going to start doing this in the round. Now if you don't want to do it in the round and you prefer to do your work this way, then by all means continue to do it this way. But personally, I prefer to do work in the round. I think it looks nicer. So we're going to slip stitch here. We're going to chain 3, and then we're going to go in the next stitch, do a double crochet, next stitch, double crochet, that's 3 double crochets, 1 more, that's 4 double crochets. We're on our 4th row, so we do 4 single double crochets in a stitch, and then we're going to do our increase of 2 double crochets in the same stitch. Then again we're going to do 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, that's 3, 1 more single double crochet for 4, and then we're going to do 2 double crochets. So that's the repeat for this row. Go ahead and continue on, and I will meet you at the end. Okay, here we are at the end of row 5. So we're going to need to put a stitch marker here. I have stitch markers, but they always seem to be too heavy, so I use yarn. Plus I can go up with this piece of yarn instead of, anyway, you'll see. So we're going to do row 6. We're going to skip this single crochet here and go into this stitch. Do our double crochet. We have our stitch marker there. And then we're going to, because again we're on row 6, so we're going to do 1 double crochet in 6 stitches. There's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, then 2 double crochet in the next stitch. So I want you to follow this. This is a repeat around, and then go ahead and do row 7 the same way. So you're going to do 1 double crochet in the first 7 stitches, and then do 2 double crochet in the next stitch, and follow that around, and I will meet you at the end of row 7. So now we're on row 6, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to do 2 in the next, 1 and 2, and follow it around to the end of row 7, and I will meet you then. Okay, I'm now at the end of row 7. Now, if you're using the DK weight yarn, then you're going to go to row 10, and here you'll be starting with row 11. But we're going to be starting on row 8. Now, if you're using the DK yarn, you're going to double crochet in 19 stitches, skip 41 stitches, chain 2, and then enter in that 42nd or 41st space. Now, if you're following along with me, you need to count back 13 stitches, put a stitch marker, count then 23 or 22 stitches, and put a stitch marker. And then we'll start here doing this at 19 stitches. Excuse me. All right, so we're going to double crochet 19 stitches. 13, I'm sorry. We are going to do 13 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay, now I'm going to chain 2, one and 2, and then I'm going to count over 22 stitches. I have mine marked, sorry. But we're going to count over 22 stitches. And we're going to put in a double crochet in that 22nd stitch. Then you're going to go ahead and do your double crochet over to your stitch marker that you marked. It's actually going to be 26 stitches if you want to count them, but if you count it from the other end, it should be there. This is really turning out beautifully. I love these colors. I just wanted to do this row with you, for those of you who are unfamiliar with how you do armholes. I'm not whipping it out as quick as I usually do, just because I don't know how quick a crocheter you guys are. And I don't want to be so fast that you get frustrated. Okay, so when you hit your stitch marker, you're going to do a double crochet there, chain 2, go over to your other stitch marker, and put in a double crochet there. And then go ahead and do the remainder double crochets to the end of the row. Sorry I'm not talking because I'm counting. I always count just to make sure that I did it right. Because unfortunately I am one that is more of a perfectionist. Okay, so I obviously went past the end of the row. In our next row, you're going to double crochet in each stitch around. And I'm almost at the armhole, so I can show you what we do there. Okay, so when you get to the armhole, where the 2 chains are, you're going to just go into the hole and do 2 double crochets. And then start back in this stitch and do the stitches. And then what we're going to do is continue doing this in the round until you've done a total of 33 rows under the armhole. So when you've got 33 rows of just simply going round and round, 1 double crochet in each stitch, then I will meet back up with you. 33 rows under the armhole. Now if you're using the double knit with the 4mm hook, instead of 33 rows, you're going to do 41 rows. And then at the end of that, I will meet up with you and show you what we're going to do next. Okay? So I'll catch you then. "33 rows if you're following along with me. 41 rows if you're doing the double knit yarn. So we're 2 stitches away from my 33, finishing my 33 rows. I'm going to do a half double crochet, and then I'm going to do a single crochet. Now for the row 34, we're going to do a single crochet in every stitch around. Just 1 single crochet. So go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you at the end of this round. We're going to do a double crochet and then a chain 1 stitch. We're going to skip the next stitch, go into the next stitch, and do a double crochet. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, go into the next one, chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next one, and you're just going to follow this around until you get back to the beginning, and I will meet you there. Then as I start the next row, I'm going to first do a half double crochet, and then I'm going to, we're in the chain 1 space, so I'm just going to, in the hole, do a single crochet, and then a single crochet in the next stitch, and a single crochet in the hole, single crochet in the next stitch, and a single crochet in the hole. And just go ahead and do this around, and I will meet you at the end of this row. Actually, I don't need to meet you at the end of this row. This is the last row, so at the end of the row, just tie it off. Tie off your end, and I will see you there. Okay, we're going to get started on our sleeve now. So we have these 2 stitches down here. I'd like for you to start right here before the 2. And we're going to do a chain 3. And then we're going to do a decrease. So we're going to double crochet 2 together. Just go in between them. Go through 2 loops on the hook. Wrap the hook, go through the next space. Bring the loop through, pull through 2, then wrap and pull through all 3. And that's our first decrease. Now we're going to do that same thing again in the next 2 stitches. Wrap, go through here, pull through, go through 2, wrap, go through here, pull through, go through 2, and then go through all 3. That's 2 decreases. We're going to do another one, wrap. We're at stitches now. Go through 2, wrap, go into the next stitch, pull through, go through 2, now go through all 3. That's 3. And then we're going to just do a double crochet in each stitch until we get to our last 6 stitches where we're going to do 3 more decreases. So 1 double crochet in each stitch around until we get to our last 6 stitches. We will end like we began this round with 3 decreases. Oops. And this is going to be the same. Actually, if you're doing the double knit yarn, you're going to do, where we're doing 6 decreases, you're going to do 8 of them. So remember, we need our last 6 stitches. See where I'm at. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. I'm going to do 2 more. Okay, now I'm going to do my 3 decreases. So we're going to wrap it, go in, pull the loop through, pull through 2. We have 2 loops on our hook. We're going to wrap, go into the next stitch, pull through 2. We have 3 loops and pull through all 3. That's 1. Let's do it again. Wrap, pull through 2. Wrap, pull through 2, and then pull through 3. And we should be able to do one more here. Okay, then we're going to join at the top of those 3 chain there. Slip stitch. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and now we're going to do 2 decreases. So here's the first half of the first one, here's the second one, and pull through 3. That's 1 decrease. We're going to do another one, pull through 2, pull through 2, and then pull through 3. That's 2. And then we're going to do 1 double crochet around, and our last 2 stitches on this row will be a decrease. So remember, the last 2 stitches are a decrease here in this row. So that's going to be here. Pull up a loop, pull through 2, wrap it, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and then pull through all 3. And then we're going to slip stitch to the 3rd chain. I think I did these so tight I can't get the needle in now. The hook in. Okay, so then I'm going to do a slip stitch here. We're going to chain 3. And I am going to do a decrease in these first 2 stitches. Try that again. Pull through 3, and then we're going to do 1 double crochet in each stitch round. Now when I get to the end of the row here, I'm going to make it become in the round. So here's a stitch marker for me to mark it. Now, you see how big that hole is? This is what I was talking about on the, up in the back. So under the arm, I feel like it's not that big. If it's too big for you, you can do the, either a slip stitch here or a single crochet. But for under the arm, I go ahead and leave it. So what we need to do, if you're using DK weight yarn, you want to have a total of 16 rows. For those of you following me, we need to do a total of 13 rows. That's from the beginning of the sleeve to the end, 16 or 13 rows, including the rows that we've already completed. And I will meet you there. Okay. We're on the last row. There's 2 stitches left to do here. We are going to do our half double crochet and then our single crochet in the last 2 stitches on this last row. And now what we're going to do is 10 rows of single crochet. So you want to go around. Just do 1 single crochet in each stitch for 10 rows, and then I will meet you at the end of the 10 rows and show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so this is our last stitch. And as you can see, the stitch is right here. So where we're going to do is we're going to go into this loop here next to it. So you want to go through that loop, and then you're going to do a slip stitch through that and the loop that's on your hook. It's a little difficult in the beginning, but the farther along we get, the better, the easier it'll become. So we're going to now chain one and then do a single crochet in each stitch across. 1, 2, 3, 4. In the next stitch, we're going to do 2 single crochets. 1 and 2. Then we're going to do a single crochet in the next one. 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 A single crochet in the next one, and a single crochet in the next one. Then we are going to again go in that stitch next to it in the previous round, and we're going to do a slip stitch through it. Oops. We're going to do a slip stitch through that and a slip stitch through the loop on our hook. That's beginning our chain. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go up to the next one above it, which is right here, and we're going to do that again, a slip stitch through that and the loop on your hook. Then you're going to do a single crochet in each of your stitches across, back across. It's a little awkward, but it will get easier. It really does. So don't worry about it. It'll come out, even though it feels a little awkward right now. You get exactly what we're looking for. 1 single crochet in each stitch back across where we just did it. Be sure you go through both loops. Then when you get there, again, you're going to go up and put a loop through the loop on the side, slip stitch through that and the loop on your hook. And as you can see, we're starting to get a little cup here. So you want to do 1 more row of single crochet, and like I said, you want to be sure you go through both loops. Sorry, my grandkids got home and they are checking it out to see what's going on. here's the last one over here. Okay, now we've got our 3 rows of single crochet done. We are going to chain 2, do a slip stitch 2 rows up, and then we are going to do double crochets, 3 rows of double crochets across our cuff here. So you want to do a double crochet in each stitch, and we're going to do 3 rows of that, and then tie off your end, and I will see you back at that point. Okay, now once you have all your ends tied in, you need to do your neckline and your bottom. Now, if you did the buttonhole, of course you will put the button side. If you didn't, you can do a chain and thread it through the top and the bottom if you'd like. I like to use ribbon because I have a ton of it that I'm not using. So what I'll do is cut the end at an angle, so it's kind of at a point, and I'll use a lighter later afterwards, and so it doesn't fray. And then you just start weaving it through. I've got my nails, so it's easy for me to just weave through with my nails. I've used a needle before, or you can use your hook. Whatever you want, you just simply weave it in and out. At the neckline. Now also what I've done is, this one I'm doing it for it to tie in the back, but I've also done it for it to tie in the front, and then you just start in the center, weave it around, weave it across the back, and then they can just loosen it or tighten it when they want to put it on the baby. So we're just going to weave it through the top. You're going to weave it through the bottom down here, and then you will be finished with it. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. God bless you. Have a blessed week and a blessed day. And I will talk to you again next time. Bye.